Hi, I'm Steve Good with the Scroll Saw Workshop. I'm going to do a demonstration tonight of how to cut out the custom name Christmas ornaments that you'll be able to purchase on my blog. When you log onto my blog at www.scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com, you will find an order page at the top of the main page where you can place an order for as many of these name ornaments as you like. They are $1 per pattern with a 5 name minimum. So you have to come up with at least 5 names to have the patterns generated for. After you place your order, we'll make the patterns and send them to you through your email account. When you get the order back, you'll have the option to either send a check to the address that will be in the email or pay online securely through PayPal. You do not need a PayPal account to pay with a credit card, and there'll be instructions in the email on how to do that. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about the ornaments. This year there'll be 3 different styles. There is a Santa Claus ornament, a nativity scene ornament, and a bell ornament similar to the one we had last year. I wanted to give you a few options to choose from just to make it a little more fun this year. Each pattern will have the name of the person that you want engraved into the pattern, so you'll be able to cut that out and present it to them as a keepsake. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the pattern onto the wood, and we'll cut one out just so you can see what I'm talking about. For each name that you submit, you will receive a PDF with each page containing a pattern that looks like this. The pattern will be all ready to cut. All you have to do is apply it to the wood and cut out your pattern. You will need, I like to use 1/4 inch thick wood for these types of ornaments, but obviously 1/8 inch will work well too. I'm going to use the blue painter's masking tape and some spray adhesive. And of course you'll need your scroll saw. And in this case I usually use either a number 3 or a number 5 scroll reverse scroll saw blade. I've completed the first couple steps of preparation to cut out this ornament. I've trimmed down the pattern to roughly the size of the wood blank we're going to use. I've taken the wood blank and covered it with the blue painter's tape. And again, we use the blue painter's tape for a couple reasons. One is it makes the pattern very easy to remove from the wood once we're finished. And it also, the glue on the back of the tape helps lubricate the blade a little bit, makes the cutting a little bit smoother. The next step is pretty simple. We're going to cover the back of the pattern with some temporary spray adhesive. Now we're going to take the pattern and apply it to our wood blank. Now what we'll do is we'll take our wood blank with the pattern affixed to it over to the drill press, and we'll drill all of our entry holes. If you don't have a drill press, just use a hand drill and a 1/32 inch drill bit and pierce each one of your entry holes, and you'll be ready to go to the scroll saw. I'm over at the drill press getting ready to drill all of my entry holes, and I actually set a 1/32 inch drill bit. That should have been a 1/16 inch drill bit, but anyway, just use a drill bit that's small enough to pierce all the interior cuts you need to make. I've got my ornament blank over here at the scroll saw. I've got all my interior holes drilled out and I'm ready to start cutting. For this ornament I'm going to use a Flying Dutchman Ultra Reverse scroll saw blade number 3. I really like these new Ultra Reverse blades because they have a detent at the top of the blade so you know which way to put them in. Some of the blades get small enough that for me it's a little hard to see or feel the teeth on the blade to know which is the top and which is the bottom. So these little detents are really helpful. I've got my number 3 blade installed in my scroll saw now, and I'm ready to start cutting my interior cuts. Generally when I start out on a scroll saw pattern, I'll start out on some of the smallest interior cuts first and work my way to the big ones. It just helps keep the pattern a little bit tighter affixed to the wood if you do that, and also doesn't make the wood as easy to break as if you cut the bigger pieces first. So with that, let's go ahead and make a few cuts. our first interior cut piece out. We'll just keep moving along until we get the whole pattern cut out. Starting across the top of the head here with the eyebrows and the furrow in the brow. Those are pretty small interior cuts, so I'm just going to get those out of the way. And the number 3 blade gives me quite a bit of control too. I really like the number 3 scroll reverse blades. Cutting on my Excalibur EX21 scroll saw today. Really nice scroll saw. I also have a couple of DeWalt DW788s that I like a lot, but pretty much the Excalibur is my go-to saw now. Now we'll do the pupils of the eyes of our little Santa Claus here. Probably about 20 interior cuts on this pattern. I didn't count them, but that would be my guess. So it shouldn't take us too terribly long to cut out this particular ornament. And again, when you place your order online, you'll be able to select whether you want the date on the ornament or not. My wife prefers the date, and I'm making this one for her, so I'm going to go ahead and put the date on the name. But that'll be totally your choice once you fill out the form. Oops, tension on the blade there. Get down to Santa's cheeks here. Let's go ahead and do his nose while we're there. Nose. We'll move over to his left cheek or his right cheek. Okay, when you get to the point where you're going to be cutting the interior of the circle, the outside circle of the ornament, take your time to make sure that that's reasonably smooth. Same thing with the outside. Then once you get back in within the interior of the pattern, it's not quite as critical to stay right on the line. If you make a few mistakes, nobody's going to notice. But when you get done, you do want this part and the outside of the ornament all around to be fairly smooth. You notice that I've slowed my cutting down again a little bit because I'm on the interior of that long curve, and I want it to be pretty good, pretty accurate. Now that I'm back inside the interior of the ornament, I'm speeding back up again. Now we'll start with the date, get it cut out. Again, when you fill out the order form for your custom name, you can leave this date off and that'll speed your cutting up a little bit. Just depends on what you prefer. Got our 3 cut out. That'll complete our 1. The interior of our 0. As you can tell, we're moving along pretty good here. Take care of the 0. And last, we'll finish up the 2. Then we can move on to cutting out the custom name, which in this case happens to be my wife, Patty. When you fill out the order form to get your custom name ornaments designed, don't forget to fill out the names of your pets. And you can have a nice little ornament on the tree for your pet. There's the interior of the A. Lost my entry hole there. Get the bottom part of the A finished up here. I'll complete the interior of the A. Do the interior of the P, and then we'll do the outline of the letters. Something we've done a little bit different this year is rather than having the letters attach at the bottom and the top of the ornament, they just attach at the bottom with a gap at the top. And the reason we did that is because it reduces the number of interior cuts you have to make and speeds up your cutting. So for those of you who are making many of these patterns, and people ordered as many as 50 to 100 of them last year, that little bit of time savings, I think it's going to be really appreciated. Okay, let's start down the outside of the letters here. Start working our way towards the end of this ornament. The Y looked too good there. Kind of messed it up. That's alright. If you make mistakes on these, they are handmade items. And one of the qualities of a handmade item is that there are some built-in errors. And don't be overcritical of those when you're cutting. First of all, most people will never notice them. And if they do, they usually just consider the fact that it's handmade and doesn't look like it's been cut with a laser. So, like I said, don't be overcritical if you make a mistake. Just keep going. And we're coming up to the P here. We have all the interior cuts completed. And we can move on to getting the outside of the ornament cut out. And we'll be ready to put a finish on this ornament. Okay, I think I will go ahead and cut this hanger hole right here with the scroll saw. I was going to cut it with a drill press, but since I'm here and looking at it, I'll just go ahead and feed my blade through it and cut it out. That'll take care of all the interior cuts now. Now we can do a quick little cut out of the ornament. And we'll move back over to the workbench and finish this thing up. Alright, I'm coming back to the outside of the circle part of the ornament, so I'm going to slow my feed rate down a little bit. Try to keep this as accurate as possible at this point. are finishing up the top of the ornament here, the little Christmas tree. And we'll be able to call this cutting complete. I didn't time it, but probably took us, a good 15 minutes or 20 minutes to cut it. But there's our ornament all cut out. We'll run back over to the workbench now and pull the pattern off of it. Got the ornament back over here at the workbench now. We're going to see what it looks like with the pattern taken off of it. Now again, I used the blue painter's tape under the pattern, so it should be relatively easy to get the pattern off. Just get you a corner started and pull kind of slow. And you're going to have some pieces tear off, but that's okay. This blue painter's tape peels up fairly easily. So just go ahead and keep going until we get the whole ornament revealed. And we got a couple of pretty delicate pieces here in the face, so I'm kind of saving that for last just to make sure I'm extra careful there and don't pull off Santa's nose or his mustache. And we just about got it here. A little piece. Decided to hang one down here on the name. And there is our 2013 custom name ornament with my wife's name in it. And again, you'll be able to order these off my blog, as many as you want. So now what I'll do is I'm going to do a little sanding on the back to get rid of what little bit of fuzzies I've got left over. And generally to finish this, I'll just put a little bit of spray acrylic on it and it'll be ready to go. So let's do that. I like to use my flat sander over here that's attached to my sand flea. Does a really good job of taking the fuzzies off the back of this, but you can use any, just sandpaper or whatever you have. I noticed when I was over there on my sander that I actually eased over the edges around all the outside of the ornament just to give it a little bit better feel to the hand. Now I'm over here at my little rotary tool here that I use to apply my finish, and we'll just give it a nice coating of this Krylon. It's just basically an acrylic spray is all it is. I'm trying to make sure I get all the interior cuts sprayed down pretty good. We'll let that dry for like 30 seconds. We'll flip it over and do the back, and generally just one pretty decent coat's all you need, but you can add as many coats as you like. I'll meet you back over to the workbench and we'll look at this finished ornament. Here we are with our finished ornament. We've got it all cut out and finished and ready to hang on the tree. Again, these ornaments will be available at www.scrollsawworkshop.blogspot.com. The patterns are $1 per pattern with a 5 pattern minimum. When you go to the website, as you place your order, you'll be able to select which ornament goes with which name. The one thing you do have to decide before you fill out the order form is whether you want the date or you don't want the date on the ornament. The date will either go on all the patterns or none of the patterns. So if you want some without the date, you'll have to fill out 2 separate order forms. I'm Steve Good, just out in the workshop tonight working on our little Christmas ornaments. Hope you enjoy these, and we'll catch you next time here at the Scroll Saw Workshop.